Greetings, I am Space Ghost. Welcome to the show.
Greetings, citizens. Welcome today. We are happy to have one of, he claims to be a villain on the 60s Batman show, although we've not been able to uncover any coverage to prove that to the positive. But his name is, what is it again, sir?
Egghead.
Egghead. All right.
Yes.
Have a seat, Egghead. Egghead, the first question that I think is burning in everybody's minds, if you're an egghead, why do you have a cone head?
Well, you see, back in the 60s, my head was a bit smaller. It has
You know what? Stop right there. Every time I've heard a back in the 60s discussion point, it just never ended well. Have they ever been able to get it on the air?
That's part of our contract, and he has signed that we can't go back in the 60s.
We can't?
He gets a bit edgy and dodgy. So
Edgy and dodgy.
So I am from the 60s.
You are from the 60s? How did you get here?
Well, I've always been around here and there. No one really sees me. I kind of hang out by myself.
So you claim to be on the Batman show. Is this true?
Yes, I am. I am on the Batman show.
Exactly.
Exactly?
Was that what kind of word is exactly?
It is exactly a word.
What are you holding there?
This is an explosive.
An explosive? Has he signed a waiver in order to have explosives in the show?
I did a little research, and he has agreed not to detonate said egg explosives. So we are safe.
Well, Mr. Egghead, we have a presentation prepared for you.
Okay.
So, Zorak, why don't we pull up the presentation before Mr. Egghead here gets a little disturbed and starts throwing around explosives.
I can't take the bad times. Let's go straight to it.
Yes, I agree, Zorak.
Okay, so I did not understand when knew we were going to have Mr. Egghead on the show that I don't understand why they call him Egghead, because clearly he's just bald and not so much egg-like.
Do you have like a fragile egghead?
It is a bit fragile. I've had some issues with it.
Brack, see how fragile his egghead is.
Just be very careful.
It seems fleshy. Not
It's a little soft.
Wow.
He's a soft-boiled egghead. All
Wow.
the other pictures I could find of people being eggheads, but they literally had pictures of eggs on their heads, as you can see, whereas Egghead is not. He just seems to be holding an egg. See, we have here just this egg on head, egg on the head, and then that last one, it's really not a real person, but there's definitely an egg sitting on his head.
Those
Whereas
very attractive people. Very attractive.
They're very attractive people. So why is it that you don't have an actual egg on your head?
I like eggs, but I don't need them on my head. I like to use eggs.
But if you don't like eggs on your head, then why is your name Egghead?
Because it appears to look a little bit like an egg.
Actually, it looks more like a cone.
it looks to me more like he shouldn't be called Egghead so much that he should be called Egghead, because every picture I've ever found of him is that the egg is just, it's in his head. It's not in his head. I just don't get this at all.
Would you be amenable to changing your name to Egghead?
I really do prefer an egghead, but I can have the nickname.
Well, perhaps this is why nobody remembered you. It was just so confusing to them when you called yourself Egghead, when you obviously are holding eggs, and they just didn't, you didn't click with the audience.
I can go with the nickname Egghead, but
The nickname?
yeah.
You can't do a legal name change? I mean, Harvey, isn't that what you do on the side?
There's so much paperwork involved.
Actually, I think you just need to sign one piece of paper.
It's really very simple.
Oh,
I do it for superheroes all the time.
yes.
Super villains, it's an extra charge, but I'll take care of it for you.
Speaking of which, we have 5 questions, and the superhero question is probably the most, the most trying of them all. So we'll ask you that. If you could be any superhero or supervillain, who would you be?
I believe it would be Egghead. I like Egghead.
I'm sorry, I believe the answer to the answer to that one is Space Ghost, unfortunately. So, but you have 4 more questions to get right. Nobody's gotten more than 2 today, so. The next question for you, and this is one that's kind of on everybody's mind, do you scrunch or fold your toilet paper?
I fold it to look like an egg.
Zorak? No, I'm afraid we were looking for Scrunch to look like an egg on that one. All right, so let's see. If Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny fought, who would win?
The Easter Bunny, because he would have explosives.
Dude, your egg thing is starting to get a little creepy. Okay, so the correct answer to that, Zorak, was that the correct answer? No, I'm afraid the answer is nobody would win because it would harm the children. All right, so the next question: can you name all 5 New Kids on the Block?
I can't. I think that's a band from the 80s. I am from the 60s.
You didn't, yeah, but did you not experience the 80s?
I've been living on a chicken ranch the last 50 years.
Harvey, are we allowed to legally ask a man from the 60s an 80s question?
I think it would be contradictory
To OSHA standards?
to
Or karma?
both, actually.
Both. All right, so we're going to scratch that one. You're still 0-3, but I think you can get one in here. So let's see. If a vacuum cleaner really sucks, is that a bad thing?
Of course not.
Zorak?
Yeah, I actually have to give him that one. That is correct.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. Wait, did I just... I mean, this... We
Sorry, Johnny. Tell them what they won.
They've won Diddly Squat. Yes, Diddly Squat, one size fits all, tons of uses. It's Diddly Squat.
What could you do with Diddly Squad?
Exactly nothing.
Exactly nothing. That wasn't your 5th question, but we are going to throw in a can of Diddly Squat for getting at least one question right. The final question on the show is, if you could add anything to a common tree sloth to make it more awesome, what would it be?
That it would lay eggs as it walked.
Zorak, is that correct?
I think,
Yes, I'm afraid the answer is a Porsche, because it seems to work for every Omniture executive that works here. Anyway, thank you for joining us on the show today. We had a great time with you, Mr. Egghead, and, well, we'll get you named Mr. Egghead here momentarily. But, you know, have fun trying to get Batman to notice you. Your whole stalker thing with the eggs is kind of weird, but, you know, everybody's got their own gig. I dress up in tights and host a talk show in outer space.
We're way out of time. Thanks for joining us.